Alrighty. Test, test. Check, check. Here we are. Howdy do, everybody. Let's put the VOD review music on. And let's get VODing. Turn it down just a touch in case this isn't quite your type. But yeah, hello. My name is King Genius. This is the lovely little VOD review we're going to do. So this is from a scrim. This is a scrim from the date of 4/5/23. And here we go. So we're going to look at a lot of macro stuff, a little bit of micro stuff. There's one specific fight where I'm going to break down a couple of perspectives that are really important. This is actually take 2 because my first take crashed. But yeah, welcome. So we're going to roll out here, and I want to point out that as we path, right, we're going to start out really, really great, and then we're immediately going to start to fan out. And this has its ups and its downs, right? So you'll see this happen here, right, where we kind of get slowed here. That's fine, and it still looks fine, right? This looks good. Still looks good. And then I'm gonna shout, and we're gonna do this really weird thing where we walk our supports into Winston. Like, you would think it's coordinated, but it's not. It's weird. So we it's just weird to throw our supports at Winston. We have Queen here, we've got Reaper here, and these are going to lead to 2 individual picks here on both the Ana and the Cass, which is really awesome. But the problem is, like, A, it's sloppy. We should just all look at the same one target, drop both of those back to back. But then also, like, we have this problem where we're getting kind of poked out by a tank who we walked ourselves into. We're doing nothing on Lucio here. I'd guarantee this is 0 in aura. And so, like, this is an odd position to be. And the whole time our Lucio is kind of not in ideal positions, I would say. So watch this again, right? Watch our Lucio, okay? Here he is. He's speeding the team. And then he backs it up. So, like, being able to peel the Ana would be great. But this is amp speed right now. This is amp. See it here. Amp down at the bottom and speed. We're amping speed right now. I couldn't tell you why. We're amping our Ana speed. Like, I know that the I can tell you why. The reason is because we were coming down this way. The problem is, if you're going to do that, you have 1 in your aura. I mean, I guess you've got the Mei, but when it updates here, it's just going to be the Mei and the Ana that it sees. The problem is, like, what's going to happen is you're then going to leave your Ana, and you're going to play, like, the midfield. Like, I mean, this is helping your tank a little bit, but you're not actually, like, contributing to the fight, right? You're not landing anything. You're the furthest from ult right now. And, like, wall riding over here is not doing much for you. Our Ana falls over, you're not peeling her. And by the time Winston's jumping out, that's when you arrive, right? So really be thinking, where am I and what am I doing? And I'll point it out more when we get to the watching individual perspectives portion. But, like, really think about where the fight is happening, when it's happening, and why. Why is a really important thing as well when you're playing. We get a really nice kill on the Soj. We're doing a much better job of following up on knives. And stuff like that when we are landing them. It's next fight where I start to land a bunch of the knives. At this point, we call for 1 to stay back on cart, which should be Lucio. And we've got these 3 right here taking this fight. This is really nice because we've got people all at half. Or they will end up all at half. And these are people that can all heal themselves. They can kind of sustain for themselves. That's one of the beauties of this comp, right? Is that you can sustain for an extended period of time. This comp is not getting worse in the next patch. Outside of the fact that Ana can't sleep tanks for as long. And the fact that Mei can be EMP'd out of... Like, the Blizzard drone can be EMP'd now. Those are the only things getting affected next patch. Yeah, I've seen the leaked patch notes. You guys will see them at some point soon. They're kind of floating around. So yeah, we this is good. I would say that at that point I kind of missed it there. We start to peek out too far. This is too far. Because this is where you start risking a sleep or a nade or something like that. forcing you out. And you do get naded. So you have to fade out, which is less than ideal. Okay, so the Reaper, or the Winston comes in, right? We're taking this kind of battle here. And it is really important that we do get the cart up to, like, back here, essentially, so that they're forced to take the fight in specific locations, right? The Reaper's already setting up for it. And I'm going to shout us backwards since we lost honor early, which, for future reference, should come around this way. But you're actually going to go around this way, the long way. Which also puts you in, I would say, not the ideal space. Like, I'd say that this is a much safer location, like kind of coming up this way and peeking here, especially if we back up. Compared to like this, where the enemy team's going to be able to like see you and stuff, especially like Soj and Ana are going to poke at you, which is a problem. So yeah, I shout right as kind of Winston jumps in. You'll see I'm not even looking at him, but I can just feel the tempo. This is something you'll need to do when you start to like scrim higher or play at a higher level. Because I shout right before he's jumped. This is kind of just the tempo of the fight. I pull the Soj in. And overall, we blow cryo. We still die because Reaper's in the fight. And again, this kind of like, this Lucio positioning is so odd to me. Because you're on speed, but who are you speeding? Right? Like, it says 2 in aura. When it updates, it'll be 1. It's just 1. You're quite literally just helping the Ana speed, and that doesn't really do much when she's scoped in shooting at us, right? So again, think about what you're doing and why, because you've got, you know, somebody who's 84 to their ult, somebody who's 72, you're 39, right? You are the only one below half, and it's by a sizable margin. So just more active thought of what you could be doing, right? Because like right now, right, you could be playing between your Queen and your Reaper, right? Or you could have helped like amp heals for your Mei, right? Because amp heals is like 50 heals per second. And I know that we joke that normal heals is like 6 per second. I think it's closer to like 16 or 20, something like that. You can Google it, see if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it's up there. So like, that's just passive healing in an aura around you that you don't have to aim or do anything for. You just exist and get value. So yeah, I want to actually show what this fight looks like from your shot caller's perspective, which is Junker Queen. Because this is right as I shout to back off, disengage. This gives us this little health boost, gives us this speed. Landing cooldowns, really important. Disengaging when you're low, right? I don't stay at 50 and try to like poke people out. I'm purple. I know I'm not going to get health. Shout for the engage. Peel to help with the Winston. Stick him, pull him back in when he's jumping out. Understanding the way that your cooldowns interact with other people's, really important. So super cool stuff there. Super good call on that Mercy being up there. Great ping as well. So yeah, follow up on Queen cooldowns and we win. Like that fight, we just swung despite our Ana having showed up like late to it. This is good to kind of like flush them out. The problem is they watched you walk up there, so it doesn't do much. Alright, so also, I don't know if you need to Wraith out here, because you do, and I don't, maybe, but I think you could just also drop and get the heals. We don't get checkpoint here, which is fine, and we're just going to lose this because we have really poor target focus, right? I'm going to slow it down, and I want you to watch. Watch what happens, right? We're looking here at this purpled monkey. Okay, and he primals. Is Winston still the target when he primals? The answer is he can be, but we have Mei, which has little damage. We have Blossom, so I would say probably not, because blossoming him, he's just going to bop you away. There's this whole like little clumping of people, right? If you pop it here, they can't drop, you know. If you pop ult, like right here, right? Reaper rates out, maybe this slides, and now they're forced to not drop. You just have to make sure that there's no sleep on the field, obviously. So you need to do something to pull it out, or get somebody else to pull it out, which is something you need to calm. But be looking to do that, right? Even if it's like teleporting up there, I don't think her team can like collapse to help kill you. So then you Wraith out of that, come down here, and then ult. Or you just Wraith and leave even, because pulling sleep is super high value, right? And our target focus, we then end up blossoming in the face of somebody who can Wraith, and somebody who's just going to jump out. And the rest of the team is still looking here. So I don't think that Blossom is the right call, because it doesn't progress us towards the end goal. Additionally, nanoing the Lucio, this is the second time this scrim that you do this, and I think you do it one more time after this. Contemplate turning on the option where you have to confirm selecting. Also, if this like recording is as choppy as my preview looks, straight up, I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast, because I would not watch this. I'd be sick. Anyways, so yeah, here is the kind of shtick, right? Target focus, use ults to accomplish the win condition, right? Reaper ult, yes, does kill things. However, it doesn't kill the things that need to be killed, and it's not going to provide any value with killing this or any of these. Skip this. There we go. There we go. Alright, so speed it back up, and we're just going to lose this now because we don't have the target focus. I tried to do this to swing it, but I didn't realize that we had like lost our Ana. We do end up killing 2, and we end up committing Mei ult, which I think is just too far. Especially after seeing this. After that comes out, we have 2 people alive. It's just Queen and Mei. Ooh, and you're 1. Yeah, no, that ain't it, Chief. So this next fight is the one where I want to look at people's individual perspectives, and the most glaring one is going to be the Lucio perspective here. The question is, what are you doing and why? For like every cooldown, right? And that's a pattern between every single character that's here, with the exception of maybe Reaper and Queen, where Reaper's biggest issue is actually his positioning, and I'll show that. So, no boop, okay? We didn't need to boop him. I'm just saying we haven't used boop yet. We haven't used amp yet. Okay? We're shooting, but what are we shooting at? Nothing. There's nothing to shoot at here. So we're just wasting ammo that you're going to have to spend time reloading. You come in, and this is when you press amp. This is when we're here in this doorway, right? But we're not, like, amping out here. And this nade is flying in actively. I know that you don't see that, but, like, because nade hasn't come out, nade will come out. They're not going to go the whole fight without using nade. This is not silver. And so we get this nade that comes in, right? And think about it. You're amping speed, and you're just sitting here, right? Even if the call was to go out there, you're not. But you're sitting here amping speed on people that aren't moving. Our AD strafes are faster, and that's all that it does for us, right? We still haven't booped. And the one time that we do boop is going to be very not good for us, because we have 2 shotgun characters, and you're going to boop a Winston who has his jump. This beat is a second late. It needs to help our Ana, and I know that you had it. In scrims you said, I didn't have it yet. You do have it. And if you had amped heals, by the way, you would have already gotten it. But you have it right here. You're not using it. You're not using it. There it goes, and it's late. And it gets the Ana killed, essentially. Quite literally, we'd be even, 1-1, having lost Bastion on his way back, and then just losing their Soj if we pop this beat, and that means we get to engage in. But we don't do that, unfortunately. And then you're gonna boop Winston away when he still has his jump. Also, your positioning. You're in the kill box without your tank, way ahead of your tank, to then boop the Winston, who's then going to jump right back in. Boop does 25 damage, so it's not like you were getting this crazy burst of damage either. And now you're reloading and stuff, and you're just gonna end up dying. Also, your auras don't go through bubbles. So you gotta either step in or help the people get out. And now you're amping, you know, heals right as the nade lands, which is just unlucky, and you die. Okay, and now we're gonna rewind it. And we're gonna watch this from the honest perspective. And I want you to count how many bullets you miss in this mag, okay? So that's 2, right? Because you're shooting at a fully health target. 3. 4. This one actually hits, so we'll say 3 missed. This one hits. We'll actually just slow it down instead of pausing a bunch. How about that? So that's the one that lands. So we have missed 2. That one misses. Okay, so that's 3. This one misses as well. If you don't believe me. Or it's not that one that misses, it's the next one, sorry. There's a dart that shows. Okay. So, or is it the next mag that I'm supposed to be counting? There's one of these mags that really needs counted where you just start, it's the next one, where you start missing a bunch. I apologize. It's the next mag. And like, it's because you're rapid firing. You just gotta take your time. That's not who I meant, there we go. Also, the nade is late, right? We always talk about nade proactively and sleep defensively. This is where you could nade here, because there's a Reaper in here. Or, you could throw it at the Winston when he peeks right here. You got critical health targets, but you wait, and then you throw it as he dies, right? And we've got people that are already purpled and stuff. They're not purpled, and this only hits the Lucio, right? It's not even close enough to go and hit anybody else. You don't even get it. And then you go and toss your sleep, hoping that you hit the Reaper. There's an easier target to hit, and his name is Winston. Okay, you missed that shot. You missed that shot. You missed that shot. You missed that shot. And then you miss that shot, right? You're missing a bunch of these shots because you're just rushing your shots. And I understand that there's like a bunch of panic and stuff, but I'd rather 1 land than 3 miss, right? This is the bottom half of that mag that I'm talking about, where it's like, just, you don't need to rapid fire. You don't need to shoot at maximum rate of fire, where you're just dumping shots. Take your time and just line them up. And then this is where we beat late, so it doesn't save you. So like, you know, not a whole lot that can really be done there. I think additionally, instead of playing in this little corner right here where you're playing, you could find benefit in playing in this corner here. It's just a little bit safer, right? Additionally, you don't have to walk up to like throw your nade or anything like that. And then when you back up, right, backing up in this corner, you can see the Sojourn still has line of sight. You should be playing in this one here on the left. And then you go to cross out like this, and it gets you killed. And you wouldn't have even had line of sight to beat if you had walked out this way anyways. So just kind of keep those kinds of things in mind. But yeah, let's progress onwards. We're gonna lose this fight. Those are the perspectives that really kind of show us what we're looking for. They're gonna get this res. So now we progress onwards, right? And I like that, you know, we are dying quicker. We're not spending forever contesting. And Zane calls that he sees Reaper here. However, we don't need to commit shift like he's about to. Yeah, no shift. Don't do this. And I know that, you know, Zane's not a he's not one of our regulars, but shout out Zane if you're watching this. Don't hit shift there. You do plenty of damage in your normal regular turret form. Recon mode, as they call it. So yeah, at this point, right, we're going to have one of the fattest queen ults ever. But we are going to make some key blunders that are going to make it impossible for us to win the next fight. So right away, right? Maybe is it this one or is it the next one? I think it's the next one actually. The next fight. Yeah. Okay, so this one here, the Reaper comes behind, and we're not common it. This is one of those situations where I don't know what the fuck's happening back here, and I need to if I'm playing Queen. There's really no other way to put it. We've really just got to be calming shit. It leads to the Elim on the Reaper, which is great, but like think about positioning and stuff, because it really hurts us when we are in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And again, Cole, I need you to ask yourself, what is speed doing? Like, we have a fucking aura around you. And it's not our job to clump on you. It's yours to clump on us, right? And if you were on even just me and Will, I would say, yep, you are now free of any sort of fault here. This is on the others for not being in the ring. We do a good job of kind of cleaning this up. Really great. And we didn't die. We didn't lose anybody, which is great. We're going to make some errors that lead to quite literally the loss of the game right here, okay? So I want you to see that they're coming up and around this way, right? And I call that I'm going to use Queen ult here. So here they come. And Cole, your job is to push the cart. And you leave the cart. Now, this is where our Ana should be sleeping monkey. And we die without using sleep. That's a choice. And we waited a long time to nade too. It's not like Winston like evaporated us either. Also, walking into the death field, poor. Every time that you go to nade, you go and take a step forward. And it's a really weird habit that I would recommend breaking. I don't know how often Anas do that, but be better than that. Additionally, okay, so we use Queen ult, we clean up a bunch of stuff. I want to kind of point out this fanning out that we do, and I've talked about it before, and I'll say it again. When I Queen ult, and when anybody Queen ults, what they should do is they should use Queen ult, and then they should use Shout to kind of retrace their steps along all the targets that are purpled. And Reaper's going to help me out with this. So I Queen ult. And this forces Fade, and purples the Mercy, which is big. Okay, he turns to go and kill the tank that's half in his backline. Oh, fuck. And we kill him, right? Which is really great. We're now purple here on both DPS. Zane, you don't have to be this deep. You need to be defending our DPS. Whoever is playing something like Bastion or Torb, you don't have to be guts and glory in like this, because you have no survivability. You stick here, which is nice, but doesn't do much for you. I shout, but the health has already been ripped through for you. So yeah, the Winston's coming back after having just killed one, and like the bot is still just sitting over here, right? Which is unacceptable. It should be in checkpoint right now, and it's not. This is a great set of kills from Will, and the Blossom is awesome. It really forces them to not go for this res down here, and they're going to wait for it to end before they go and res Ana. Right there. And that leaves Mercy 1. And at this point, I have fully retraced my steps and realized we've left the bot. And I know Cole recognizes that this was a mistake. I need to never see him or anyone else make this mistake again.
The checkpoint is so valid, and pushing the bot is so important. There should never be time where we waste bot control like this.
Because we are the team in control right now. And we're going to lose this because we weren't pushing the bot, which means we don't get close spawn for anybody. And at this point, I end up leaving it more on accident than on purpose and come back to get it. But I don't even think I think it would have been here by the time they get back, and Winston still just would have jumped objective. Yeah, and at this point we just kind of lose this fight. Because, well, we don't have the people, we don't have the respawns. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. I like that we're backing up and not, like, trying to play for, like, poke or anything. I really do appreciate that, because that would kill me. That unnecessary damage thing. I hate to be a coach with a buzzword, but that's this team's buzzword right now is unnecessary damage. Across all the scrims that I've played, watched, and seen, every single time, it is unnecessary damage, unnecessary peeking. It gets us killed, right? So really be thinking about that. They're going to get this checkpoint again, and they're going to come pushing it along. And the Reaper's up here again. And I really want us thinking, okay? Really ask. What are we doing when we peek certain angles, okay? Because I want you to see this, right? From our Bastion, who peeks this angle with a Sojourn, right? Which is just beyond me. There's a Sojourn here, who has a Mercy, so you're just going to give her charge. And then our Reaper, a shotgun character, also peeks it. I don't know why. We are better than this. I know that we are. And so I don't know why we're doing this, right? But if I asked you, give me a logical reason why it is that you're peeking down an angle that you know the enemy team is going to be posted up on because their bot is right here set up, you're not going to be able to give me a logical reason. You'll be able to give me a, well, I thought that maybe, or, well, it could have been that. It's not logical. We are better than this, and we know that we are. So we got to start acting like it. This Reaper does this kind of thing all the time where he's going to teleport in weird spots, he's going to start to poke somebody, and then he's going to wraith away. We need to be looking to do the same thing when we are like winning fights, because he's going to do this relentlessly. He's been doing it for the first half of this replay, and he'll do it for the next half. And again, we're not calming anything, right? So we Bastion ult here, which is great. And I love that we use this as an initiatory ult. And then we call it, we're going to Nano Queen, we're going to amp in, and we're all going to rush in and kill both Winston and Soj, right? So nobody should be left behind, first of all. So our Ana needs to not get left behind. But then on top of that, we need to be walking in. Something to consider is maybe we run Moira with this comp in the next patch, because she's actually getting buffed the way that her heals work. So could be worth looking at, for sure. But then what happens is, we nano me, right? And Winston jumps up. And we call that we want to go on Soj. We're calling Soj, who is damage boosted right now. And we call that we want to kill Soj. So, we've got the Bastion follow-up on that Soj call. And I'm walking in. But do you see the problem here with these three? We're looking at one Winston. The Reaper's not even here to help him. Okay? So, the amount of time that you spend looking at Winston not walking is time that your tank, who believes that they have a team who's actively echoing comms, is walking with the Queen. And it's not. It's still not. It's still not a thing. I'm still going. Right? I'm still on this call that we had for Soj. And just now we're done. Where we start to actually come to catch back up. We don't have amp. Because we amped on that corner when we then stood still for the Winston, right? We amp speed, and then we amp heals to help yourself, which, by the way, you heal others more than you heal yourself. But these are people that are full because they got shout. The Samp did nothing.
I see an enemy.
I don't know how else to put it. And it's not me trying to put you down and say you're bad or anything. I'm saying that the Zamp did nothing. And you need to think more carefully before hitting E. Kind of same deal here, where I'm going to ask, what do we do with sleep, right? It's going to be that we shot bubble, I'm sure. Yeah, we shot bubble. Winston's not going to dive in not using bubble. Unless he lands on you, in which case that means you're inside his bubble. You shouldn't be hitting shift like that. And we know better. I'm going to keep saying that, but we know better. If you believe I'm wrong and that we don't know better, let me know. I need to know, because that will tell me more information than is necessary, okay? So tell me that kind of stuff. And then additionally, I'm very, very curious why it is that we're not calming Winston's in the back. We need help. Please peel Winston. Peel, 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 peel. We all know the word peel. So we should be calming it if that's something we need to do. But we're not coming in. So I have no clue, and I'm just gonna march forward believing that I've got a team. I still have no clue that I've got no team. And I know that my Ana's like looking at me and stuff. But an Ana, a team is not made by just Ana, right? An Ana does not a team make. That's the saying. Ana a team does not make. Okay. So I don't understand why it is that we're not calming these things, why we're using our cooldowns in such fashions, because at this point we could amp people to catch back up to our queen, right? Because the robot's not here, the robot's here, which is part of why the calm to rush Sojourn is so valuable, and we're not doing it. And now you've got a tank and a Reaper who are going to be positioned between your tank and you, which is going to lead to your tank dying, which is going to lead to you losing the fight. And this is a great kill on Reaper. It's just not going to frickin' matter, okay? Because your queen's getting no health. I get right-clicked by balanced character number 4, and that's it. That's the round. You guys are going to fall over. Additionally, I should never be able to pause and see 4 people out of position like this. None of these are acceptable positions for any of these characters, okay? I understand that, like, right as I die, maybe Reaper should be up like this. Maybe Bastion should be closer to this corner. This is not an acceptable position for Lucio. This is not an acceptable position for Ana. You could tuck yourself into this, like, corner here. Maybe. And the thing is, Reaper can be here, but honestly, if you're going to be pushing with your queen, you should probably be up further. If you're going to be Bastion, and you're going to be closer to this corner, why not rocket jump yourself up? Because I know that we haven't used rocket for jump once. In fact, you just used it, and it wasn't to jump up. You stuck a shield. Not acceptable. We know better. We know better than to stick a shield. Which has been down for a sizable amount of time. We know better. It's time to start thinking for 2 hours straight, every scrim block, and thinking. And I recognize Zane doesn't scrim with us often. This isn't just a Zane thing. This isn't just a Cole thing. It's not just a Peyton thing. It's not just a Will thing. It's not just a Chris thing. It's not just a me thing. We are a team. All 5 of us thinking 2 hours straight, hard, intense, the whole way. Just this kind of thing can't happen, right? This map happened halfway through the block. This was at the top of the hour, pretty much. We have no excuses. If you get tired after an hour, I hate to break it to you, NECC matches last longer than that when you don't lose 3 in a row. I don't know how to tell you. And I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Because I know that we're better than this. I know we can be better than this. And I'll keep saying that. I know we can be better than this. But we're not. We're not being better than this right now. Okay, and we're just going to die because we are out of position. We're not playing a corner. The only way you're going to beat a Sojourn ult without your tank is positioning, right? You're going to be sitting on corners, forcing them around corners for you, and then team firing at these people when, you know, they peek this way, somebody peeks out this way and, like, tosses a nade or something. When they wrap around this corner, we got people coming down these stairs or whatever. There are things we can be doing that we're not doing, but, like, it doesn't even matter because we're blundering so many fundamentals. This is a great pick. It's not going to matter because they're going to res it. It simply does not matter. Additionally, speeding our queen out, not valuable. I don't know why we're doing this. You have a full team that's still going to be respawning. Help them out of spawn. It's a long walk. Okay. This is going to be the greatest queen ult ever. Ever. And we are going to follow up on it pretty well, but we're going to blunder, like I was saying earlier. This was a fight I confused for earlier. We're going to blunder in such a fashion that prevents us from being able to win the next fight, and thus the game. Because we're so close to winning this scrim, like 40 times over, and we don't. So right now I'm pulling cooldowns, right? I'm pulling every possible cooldown that I can before fight reaches its limit and I have to hit Q. So I'm pressuring Winston out. No bubble. Okay? And at this point, he pops leap. I say, all right, Ana's refusing to nade. She's refusing to sleep. I will take them for the team. I'm going to purple everybody, right? And what's going to happen is he's jumping for Ana. Okay? He gets nanoed, right? Look at the enemy team, all purple. All damage is permanent that we do at this moment. But we've hit shift before now. We've burned 2 seconds of our tank config. And what's going to happen is we're not going to amp heals for our Ana, who's getting dove. We're not going to boop to save. We're just going to run. We're literally going to run away from our Ana and let her die. Okay? I want you to watch this again. From Ana's perspective. And I really want you to think about this, Cole. This is me and you chatting right now, okay? Everybody else is going to jump ahead like a minute and a half, and they're not going to watch this part. Me and you see this Winston, and I know that you do. Okay, and you're shooting at him, which is good. You don't boop him this way. I don't know why. And then, you see your Ana back here, because you don't have this overlay, this little damage stuff, and I know that you don't have this stuff here. Your kill feed is up higher. And you turn away from the Ana that he is very clearly diving. You see it again. You see critical. You're still just kind of spamming shots in his general direction. Point and then click, by the way. You don't need to fire spam. And you don't help her. You used amp earlier. Because you amped in a doorway. Right here. You stood here. For the people that are here, it doesn't do anything, right? If you're going to amp, instead of amping and starting the amp here,
you want that louder?
Covering this ground does nothing for us. Amp when you're out here, right? That's a full second later. That is a full second later that you could have amped here. Amp lasts 3 full seconds. That's a whole second duration later that we could have had it. Or you could have saved, because, again, we're standing here. We're not doing anything. There's no rush. And you're not coordinating a rush. It's clear to me that you're not rushing a support. Or a DPS or anybody back here. Because it's me and Will that are back here. Will is going to finish up this kill here with Zane, and he's going to turn and help me with these guys. You leave our Ana to die, and it leads to us losing this fight. And I'm not saying that the scrim is your fault. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that as the lowest ranked player, you have to come the furthest, and I know that you can do it. But it's going to be hard. Alright. Let's get back into this, okay? The Queen is going to hit this, and at this point, I'm going to land a shot here that guarantees these characters die. Everybody here will now be guaranteed dead. Any damage that we do to them just makes it happen sooner. All 3 of them bleed out. Outside of the ranged precision kill we have on Ana from our Reaper. Super awesome. And I do appreciate that you do eventually get down here. The problem is, it's at the cost of our Ana. Okay, and it's going to be at the cost of our Queen too, because I die because I don't have any Ana heals. These 2 picks are going to be a really big deal. And so the problem is, additionally, we're late for the taxi. They don't start taxi immediately. And now, they're going to come up here because they have close spawn, and they're going to take this fight before we're back. And these 2 are going to be forced to back up. Right? Like, this is where Zane is calling, hey, maybe we need to chill here, Will. Absolutely. They have everything but their tank, and you have 2 DPS. And I know that you can do it. Like, you can win this, but it's not going to be through poking like this. You definitely don't want to be poking against Soj, because she's going to pick your Ana. Again, positioning choices are happening in odd styles here, and I know that you're crossing across, but why cross at all? Just play here. Okay? There's nobody in your danger other than, or nobody else that can threaten you other than, like, Reaper, and he's not sniping you from here. I promise. Okay. We try to get our guy back here, and again, this is kind of just more of that unnecessary poke type of thing where we're kind of playing out here. If you're going to play in an off angle, you need to play safely. So I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. The moment that they start to kind of peek like this, you both play together, and you just back up this way, right? You back up kind of down here. I know that you can see my cursor down here, right here. You play down there, and you'll be fine. Instead, we're kind of taking these ranged poke battles between Reapers. The biggest thing with Reaper, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, I foreshadowed, I said one of the biggest problems we have is a Reaper positioning problem. We're not setting up for these like kind of flank positions where we're looking for stuff like that. I get not doing it when we're down people, but we're also kind of poking at a range like this. You need to be right up on somebody. And you'll see me do it with Queen. Queen reaches further than Reaper. Reaper needs to be even more so than Queen, right up on top of somebody. Be looking to be that guy. Because we need to be, right? And we kill this Reaper, and at this point, this is something we need to do more against Mercy. I'm going to camp this body, right? I don't know exactly where it is. I assume that it's like hereish. And his Queen, because I have knife, and this Mercy is a smart player, she knows she can't res while I have knife. So now I'm just going to camp this res, right? And I'm just going to kind of make eye contact, watching her, but also kind of still taking this fight. And you'll notice, I'm not firing at max rate of fire. Same deal with Reaper, same deal with Ana. We should not be just dumping bullets, right? You watch me, I am not firing at max rate of fire. I am when there's a shield. I take the shot, I kind of wait it. You'll notice there's just that little bit of delay until I know that I'm on the Winston. Same deal for you guys, okay? I know that you guys can do this, where you just wait it until you got it on somebody. It's not a whole lot of damage, but it's a whole lot more than none, right? And on a tank, this little bit of chip can matter. I do like that we're safe ulting, by the way, Will. I really like that ult. I know that it forces, like, slide and jump and just everything else under the fucking moon, but, like, look at how fast they get forced out here. You walk up, you hit Q in this really safe spot. Sojourn backs up, slides. Winston jumps. Ana's backed up this way. She's not split from her team. This is free. Free low, bro. Easy. And, like, yes, Ana or Mercy can just, like, Valk fly over, kind of help her. But, like, this shit gets so much easier when we do stuff like this. We do a beat engage here, which, by the way, we need to beat engage more. Me and Cole were talking about this. Me and Zach Thomas, aka Penguin. Me and Penguin were talking about this. We just got to do this more. Beat engage. You don't lose fights when you beat engage. We're gonna look to do more of that. Because, like, what are we beating here? We get, like, Ajaxed multiple times, a scrim. No more. It can't happen anymore. If you don't know what Ajaxing means, ask me. In your write-up, ask me. So we're gonna continue onwards. We're just gonna kind of clean this fight up. There's really nothing super special to look at. Push it in finally. We get that. And then we keep going. And there gets to be a point where, and I'm not covering what's happening here. At this point, you guys can draw conclusions about why being split like this is bad, why leaving each other is really not wise. It's really, like, we win this because they're staggering, right? They've lost 2 and they fucking Sojourn ult. That's some platism right there. So we move forward, right? And what I really want you to realize is as we start to push this bot further, and we're cleaning up these kills because Winston jumps out early and stuff like that, these are awesome. These are good. Really, really good. And we're making more progress on the bot. We have the lead now.
Your team has lost the lead.
It says your team has lost the lead because whatever. We're winning, okay? We're winning. These 3 ults should be saved. And I know that we literally instantly bash an ult because I think Zayn just wants to keep the tempo. But, like, we should hold on to that for future reference. And we shouldn't nano. I've rewatched. I recorded our comms. Peyton's calming. Ryan, calm when you want it. And eventually I give him a countdown. I need to tell you no, and you need to not ask. We should recognize that the next minute and a half should be spent letting them get the cart all the way back to here before we want to fight right here on the top line. Super awesome kill there, by the way. I really love that, Zayn. I got front row tickets to that. But because we've lost our Reaper, we can't, like, punish this guy. We nano me here. We should probably reconsider, even if we weren't in the lead, like even if the checkpoint was up here, we should probably reconsider nanoing at all here because they've still got so many ults that they'll want to commit to this fight that they're going to nano, they're going to blossom, they're going to do shit like that, right? Let that be their thing, right? They don't even end up blossoming. And that's fine. You do end up Reaper gapping this guy, which is kind of awesome. The singular bag is quirky. And then you popping Blossom is less than quirky. Oh, I know that you're looking for it. No, don't ever Blossom in bubble, sweetheart. You watched him jiggle in and out. You fucked around and found out, that's for sure. 55 seconds left, and this is where we should be, you know, nano queen ulting. I should have calmed that we were going to save it and just die point, because look at this, right? We're not even contesting the card. There's 40 seconds left, right? 30 seconds from now, they'll be like down here. That's where the fight needs to happen, right? Maybe it takes place before the checkpoint, maybe not. But like, you know, we should have been smart enough to save it. We weren't. Okay, and at this point, we struggled to kill Winston, who's primaling in our back line. He's getting some heals, but he's not getting nearly enough for it to take that long to kill him. When we have Bash and Reaper, that is sad. Again, we will be better. Okay, and I'm really just, this last couple of minutes, I'm gracing through things, because these are fights that don't matter. Okay? That's why I'm not like, all right, let's look at the fine details here. Let's look at the fine details here. It doesn't matter. Okay? I don't care if you misplayed in these fights, because these fights didn't matter, right? They're here with 20 seconds left. I don't think we contested the card. I really don't. I think they've just pushed it here passively. I'm gonna check. Check the last like 20 seconds, right?
2 minutes remaining.
I don't think. Maybe they get off it here for like a brief second. For like 5 seconds. 6, 7, like 7 seconds, and then they're on us back to pushing it, okay? So like, they get back to here with 30 left, maybe, okay? We'll say 30 seconds generously. That's 10 seconds that we're saying they weren't on. Okay, so they're pushing it this way, right? That would put us here at 25. This is where we can be using that ult. We wipe them here and they'll never touch. Right? Like, they have no tank, by the way. By the way, no tank. If we nano queen ulted here, it's just over, right? They cleanse like these two, kill these two, easy game. Instead, it's just queen ult, and we're missing people because we're still taking a while to get out of spawn, because we staggered dying. We're not taking fights fast enough, which does need to happen. And I shout to try and like keep us up. I need it for back here. So now I don't have it for back here, and they're going to cleanse back here. So there's 3 purple, but it should be like 5. Or 4, sorry, 4. Should be everybody but Kiri, who cleanses herself. And we get the Winston, but at this point it's just not enough, and we lose. So, I am going to ask you, after I talk briefly about the upcoming meta, we are going to talk about meta, and then I'm going to tell you the things that I need from you in writing to see in my Discord DMs by Tuesday. It needs to be by Tuesday before the patch lands. Okay, so when it comes to this new patch, obviously we have Lifeweaver, who has crazy utility and low healing, right? Which means tanks that self-sustain will thrive with him. Things like Ball, Doom, Queen, stuff like that. I think that on top of that, these Brig reworks, when you see them, you're going to go, oh shit, Brig's meta again. So I'm considering Brig Lifeweaver and Brig Kiri and Brig Ana as the kind of options that we have here. Maybe Brig Lucio, but I'm gonna highly doubt that. I'm considering the meta that we will see to probably be Doom and Winston as the tanks, with the supports that I told you about, with Hanzo on every single map all the time always, because he's not getting nerfs, and then cycling depending on the maps and the matchups of like Mei and Tracer, because Cass is getting a slight nerf, enough for people to stop picking him a little bit. He can no longer sticky nade body shot combo, so that's nice at least. Keep in mind that these are tanks that like to feed, and sustain themselves, right? Like with their own stuff. Well, now when they run out of resources, Lifeweaver can pull them out. Brig packs are wild. Rally's getting a buff. Shield from Rally is going to cause stuns now. All this kind of stuff, right? And if this is your first time hearing this, go watch a video. Additionally, Sig's getting nerfed. This means that this reserved kind of pokey style is going to be much, much harder to run. And so instead you're going to have these two separate cores of the Ball or the Winston or the Doomfist feeding, going in deep, and then getting pulled out, while the Hanzo protects the puller. You got characters like Mei and Tracer who can heal themselves as they go or recall their health. So be ready to be seeing things like that. Additionally, Moira's getting a buff. I mentioned this earlier in the VOD if you were paying attention. Moira is going to be considerable for healing now. So here is what I want to hear from you guys. First thing, I need 3 things that you have learned for yourself, which is another way of saying I need to hear 3 micro changes you're going to make. 3 things that affect your gameplay. Then I need 3 things that you've learned about team play that change how you are going to interact with the overall team and how you believe the team needs to be playing. As an example, we save ults as a team in times where we're super far ahead in the lead and stuff, and have ults. That's macro changes, okay? So your macro, 3 things from micro, 3 from macro. I want to hear your thoughts on my new meta predictions and what yours are as well, with reasons as to why you agree or disagree. And then I also want to know what you're going to do when the new patch drops, okay? If I don't have these notes from everybody not named Joseph Nigel Yogurt and Zane that played in these scrims, I'm going to be pissed. Okay? Okay. Hold each other responsible. If you need to sit down and watch it together and chat with each other together, do it. I don't care. But I need people watching this. Or listening at the very least, okay? So, understanding things, okay? You've got to talk with me if you have questions. Comments, concerns, anything. We can be better than this. I know we can be better than this. But right now we're losing to teams we shouldn't lose to. We lost to Purdue fucking Silver. For no reason. We will be better. And we have good reason to be. But it takes you guys making the change. I'm willing to be better if you are. So let's go. Let's do this together. Let's bring home a trophy. Yeah? Let's go meet the Ocelots at the end of this tournament where they're still running their fucking Orisa, and let's put them down. Show me you want this as bad as I do. Because if you don't want this, I'll hang it up for next year. I'll say, you know what? See you next fall. Good luck. We either win, and we win solidly, or we give up. Because I'm tired of losing. I need you guys to be with me. Let's do this, okay? Alright. I'll see you in my DMs. Have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you're enjoying your days and nights off of school. Have a good one, guys. Peace.